Hi there again, everyone. Josie here from Life at 50 and Beyond. Thanks for joining me here in my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I created this setup using only Dollar Tree materials. And what's good about this DIY is that this is multifunctional. It's not just a home decor or party decor or wedding decor. It has a functionality as well. It can be a wedding card box. So you will need 6 of these 8x10 frames, and this is the one that I like a lot. It has a wooden frame and it has a matting. I like this because it is bigger than your regular 8x10 that doesn't have a matting. And to build this wedding box lantern, also going to be using this is the plastic garden fence. I'm also going to be using some burlap, and the Dollar Tree occasionally would sell burlap. I think a year ago or a few months ago they did, and that's why I was able to buy this small piece. But Joann's and also Walmart sells scraps of burlap, like that one on the foreground. I bought that at Joann's for 88 cents. Also need scissors as well as box cutters. You'll also need a glue gun. I will be doubling up with the E6000 as well once I'm done with this project, and if I want to keep it all permanent. First, remove the backing from each of the picture frames and then separate the metals and flatten them aside, and then glue the glasses on the frames. Cutting the stakes or the spikes from the fence, and I'm also going to be cutting the nails, or the connectors on the sides or the edges of this garden fence. Once I've removed all the edges there and the spikes or stakes, I am cutting each panel because I need 4 individual pieces so that I can attach them onto the glass of the frame. So sharp scissors will do just fine. Now I'm fast forwarding this section too because this is also another clip that I used for the other video where I made the terrarium, and this is how I did it to make each side even, because once you cut each panel, some are thinner than the others. So I just used the foam backing from the frame. So feel free to watch that other video if you haven't seen that other one yet. Like I said, it's going to be linked here, and it's also going to be at the very end of this video where I have the thumbnails that you can just click on. Now this is how it'll look like. So I have 4 pieces here and they all look even, and I'm still going to paint over also those glue residues there, just using my brush. This doesn't have to be a very difficult process. Just use your brush, use it one stroke or dab, and make sure that you also paint the back as well as the front. With the same technique, I am also distressing or applying a weathered look or whitewashing my picture frames. Once I'm done painting both the fences and the frames back and front, I am going to be gluing the fence panels that I cut up individually onto the glass on each picture frame. Then I'm going to be attaching the fence onto the glass of each picture frame. I'm just going to be eyeballing it, making sure that it is centered, like so. To assemble the bottom of the box, I'll be using the backing that the picture frame came with. I removed the hooks that they came with so that they won't scratch the countertop or the table where it's going to be placed. So I'm going to be using the brown side where I'm going to be applying or attaching or gluing onto it the burlap. The reason why I'm using the brown side is because the burlap is brown and the burlap has holes and you can see through it. With the brown side up, at least it will be more even in color rather than the black side that will show through the holes of the burlap. So what I'm going to be doing here is I'm just going to be cutting it to size, maybe leaving it a little bit of space on the edge so that when I glue it, it will not stick out. So now I'm applying dabs of glues on the edges or perimeter of this cardboard box, and then I am going to be attaching the piece of burlap that I cut. So I put the glass as well as this matting to frame the burlap so that these sides here will not show. So to illustrate it better for you guys, what I'm doing is one of the panels, I put it down, and then this is the trick so that you can do this on your own or without clamps, okay? And then make sure that this is just flushed. When I say flushed, there's no overlap or overhang on the frames that I'm connecting. All these four will be standing up in the direction of the fence. The overhang will be in here inside but not outside, okay? So let me just put some hot glue. I'm doing hot glue because I just want to make sure it really is gonna work, because if I put E6000 and I make a mistake, then there's no turning back. Gonna be hard to turn back. Make sure the directions are right. Whenever you're connecting these things, take your time, okay? So I am going to be connecting here so make it easier. Making sure that the corners are flushed. See it? Okay, so now I'm gonna be doing here the same thing I've done here. Make sure that it's flush. So see now, because it's hot glue gun, it's standing up, but still be careful, okay? And then I'm going to be putting it here. So then this one, now I'm going to be making sure that I connect this flushed on this side. All corners connect. It's a straight line. Okay, now that's that. Apply glue here and then glue here. And then that's it. See that? So everything should be flushed. Nothing is sticking out on the side. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Everything, even the corners, top and bottom. I know I'm not captured on all the angles here. Let me just remove my camera. There you go. Let me just show that to you. Aerial view. There's my belly. The magic of glue gun. And then I'm going to be adding E6000 later on. Again, once I'm sure everything is all set. So the best way to do this is really to glue here, but I'm going to try it first. Hopefully I don't break anything here. And then just make sure that I have the same overhang on this side. Okay, on the horizontal or on the long side of the bottom, I am going to be flushed. Okay, I'll be flushed, and then on each side of the shorter side, or yeah, of my bottom, would be, there'll be a little bit overhang. Let me just put the camera again there. So there'll be a little bit overhang here, and then a little bit overhang here. So what I'll do is I'll just make sure that it's flushed here and here, and then I have exact amount of space on each side, making sure that everything is straight. Okay, so putting in hot glue here. So if you want to just raise the whole thing, and then quickly, what I'm gonna be doing is I'm going to be applying here closer to the glass rather than outside, because I have an overhang. But this one, I can do this a little centered on this side. Okay, because there's no overhang here. But this one is closer to the glass. This one would work. With glue gun, you could still move it and then make some changes later. Now to make the cover or the top, I am going to be using one of the backing of the other frame, and then I'm going to be covering it with my burlap, and I am going to be attaching it with hot glue again, like so. Then I'm going to be using an extra backing with the black showing. I've been removing also the hook so that they don't show up. It'll give it a more professional finish. I am going to be applying glue, and then I'm going to be connecting this cardboard onto the bottom of the one that I had burlap attached on. I'm using my scissors to trim off all the loose threads. Before I put it in here, I might as well do the cut, right? So using a ruler as a guide, I am going to be slitting this center about 1/2 inch in height, and then about probably 6 inches to 7 inches wide, so that I have enough space for the cards to go through. I'm also using my scissors to trim the cut area of the burlap, and then using again my cutter to cut the remaining corners and edges. Once I cut and trim all the excess or loose threads, I am going to be applying hot glue to be able to stick this side here of the edges of the burlap so that they don't fray any further. Kind of trim off all the loose ends, and then I am going to be adding lace trim on the surrounding to protect that area and also to give it a better attractive look. So I'm just applying this lace ribbon that complements well the burlap design. I will be also putting it into the frame without the glass, of course, otherwise you will not be able to use the hole. So this is how it should look like, and it will be your cover or your lid for your wedding card box. So just to show you, there you go. It will be just dropping there, and the cards are secure. They don't bounce anywhere else. The glass will protect them. So yeah, this one you can either leave it like this, it's removable, and or what you can do is you can put hinges. You can put hinges at the back, and actually put hinges, one on each side or corner here. You can just open and close it, and then probably put some kind of a lock here, decorative lock. Okay, so here's the multifunction. I use it multifunction because it's not just for wedding cards or greeting cards that have probably cash or money inside. It doesn't have to be just for that, but you can remove the cover and just use this as a lantern. And I am going to show you how you can also decorate this. So here's the finished project, everybody. I've decided to show it to you as if I'm using it as a lantern or a terrarium without the cover. And I'm using my, that's the flower arrangement that I've had for probably 6-7 years now. And all I added were some of the fairy lights. And I know the Dollar Tree sells fairy lights. So to you, there's no cover right now, and you can appreciate it better to see the flowers from this view as well. I just had a crazy idea, and I added the bird cage DIY I created a few weeks back, the very first of my garden fence series. And if you put it on top, it looks like a huge bird cage. Wow. And for a wedding, that'll look great. And here it is at the center of our dining room. It's so dramatic. It's so beautiful. I love it. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it's a little bit long because I had to show you all the process. And if you have any questions, please leave some comments down below. Click like and share and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Thank you so much, everybody. Hope you all are having a great day. Talk to you again on my next video. Bye-bye.